So this is the topic we will be doing today, and that's Colruyt's law of independent migration of ions. So what is its significance and how, where and it is used, you will know after some time. But then, so electrolytes are classified into two. One is strong and another is weak. So what happens to strong and what happens to weak? When strong electrolyte is dissolved in a solvent, it dissociates completely and full ions are separated. The ions being the anions and cations. Whereas in weak electrolytes, the dissociation is incomplete or partial. Now in what way it affects the conductivity? That's what this Colruyt's law explains you. Colruyt's law tells some things about the dilution of the electrolytes or dilution of the solvents, and tells you what happens when you dilute a conducting media to what extent. Now for instance, in case of a strong electrolyte sodium chloride in water, when you increase the concentration of solute, that is sodium chloride, you get a graph like so when you increase the concentration, usually what happens, it extends to or increases to a certain level and then it becomes constant. This is in the case of very strong electrolytes, or in some cases of electrolytes there is no change at all. However much you increase the concentration of electrolyte, the solute, it doesn't matter. There is no change in conductivity. This is in the case of strong electrolytes. Reason being, strong electrolytes dissociate completely and the number of ions, whatever they are already dissociated into, they are separated. Whereas when you go to weak electrolytes, yeah? Now here what happens is, they increase dramatically, or 100-fold increase in conductivity you can see. The reason being, the volume is increased, ions are free to move, whereas in the case of strong electrolytes, that electrophoreity effect, relaxation effect, they all contribute and not much activity is found in conductivity there. But here, as we increase the dilution, conductivity increases to a larger extent, and at a point it becomes constant, and this is called as equivalent conductivity at infinite dilution. No, it doesn't decrease, or sometimes it decreases, most of the times it doesn't. There is not much change actually. Even if it increases, after time it decreases. There will drop or just increase in little increase and then it stops. Oh, you can see here it is going like this, it is straight away, small increase in dilution. You can see this and you can see this, where it has increased. Small increase made a lot of difference here. Huge increase does not made much difference here. So this is the story here. Now this is called as equivalent conductivity at infinite dilution. Now how does it matter, and what matters here is, see, in the case of sparingly soluble salts, what happens? A salt is completely soluble and a salt is sparingly soluble. In the first, when a salt is completely soluble, it dissociates completely, ions are free. In sparingly soluble, you take 10 grams, out of that only 1 gram is soluble, the other 9 grams are not soluble, then what? Less ions are released. But here you see conductivity is more. So when you are increasing dilution, what happens is some more ions are released, but not maximum number of ions. That sparingly soluble will become little more sparingly soluble, and more ions are released. These more ions will carry more electricity. Now, as I told you earlier, or in earlier class also, now you have a table here wherein conductivity at 18 degrees centigrade at infinite dilution for different pairs of salts, and you will see the difference is constant for a given pair of salts. Why this is happening and what is its significance? This proves that irrespective of the cation present, anion is behaving as it is only ion present in the solution, and irrespective of the cation present, anion is behaving as if it is only ion present in the solution. So based on experiments like this, Kohlraasch proposes the law called Kohlraasch law of independent migration of ions, wherein he says irrespective of the cation present, anion behaves as if it is the only ion present, and it contributes a characteristic value of conductivity to the solution. And that is nothing but your Kohlraasch law. And the total conductivity is at infinite dilution is given by where lambda being what? Speed of amount of current carried by anion, and the second case is, so this is your law of independent migration of ions. How it is used? Oh, it is used in, basically it is used in conductometric titrations. What are these conductometric titrations? We will see in the next class.